Hello out there. Sorry I'm about a minute late, but still getting it together. So welcome if you're here. I'm still getting set up. Look at these wonderful flowers I got. Post Valentine's Day, right? They should have been like $35 or something. I didn't pay anywhere near that. Pretty wonderful. There we go. Find the optimal angle, huh? Right about there. No meditation without candles, huh? Well, that's not true at all. Not even a little true. But it's better with candles. And incense. I wouldn't want to let you down and not have anything to smell. Not that this is necessary either. How you guys doing today? Everybody okay out there? Hey, there's Tina. Hi, Tina. How are you doing? Looks like it's just me and you right now, sister. And whoever watches the video. You see my pretty flowers I got super cheap because of post Valentine's Day? Everything seem okay? Can you hear me? Oh shoot, I don't have my book. I'm gonna need that. Pretty, right? Aren't they? Okay, cool. Can you hear me? Is it noisy today? That last one came out really noisy. I couldn't figure out why. I think it has some, I still think that it's trying to get the sound from the phone and from the laptop at the same time. And I can't figure out how to shut the laptop one off in OBS. Have any idea how to do that? I do not. Properties. Properties? No. I don't know this program at all. I'm scraping my way through it. Scene transitions. No, I don't think I'm worried about that. Sources. That's that going on. It looks good and sounds. I'll be lurking this time. I'm in the middle of growing my. There's a heart on top of what you're saying there, and I can't see what that last word is. I'm gonna assume it says dog or cat. I think you don't have cats right now. I don't believe, right? So it must be your dog. It's okay. You can listen to me and groom your dog at the same time. I think that'll be beneficial for everyone involved, especially the dog. Preset device, Joe's iPhone camera. Should be an area, sources from mics and camera. Yeah, I see the audio mixer. I see the sources only has one thing on it, and it just says video capture device. I double click it, and there's really no options there about sound. The audio mixer, you think, because I see two lines clicking on that audio mixer. It says mic/aux. Settings. Audio. Desktop audio disabled, mic auxiliary audio. Here we go, Joe's iPhone microphone. Let's see if that does the trick. Does that sound any different? Or does it sound the same? Less noise, maybe more clear? It's been a minute since I messed with it. Is the sound now any? It's different now. Yeah, okay. Now it's just coming from the iPhone. So it should be better. But good, but good. Thank you for your assistance, ma'am. Awesome. Yeah, I'm telling you, I was trying to get it from the laptop as well, which is absolutely not what I was wanting. Can you see that? Can you see it? Fresh out of them. Fresh out of them. Fresh out of F's. I'm not going to say it in case anybody's got their kids when they're watching the recording back before I get to edit out these ridiculously long and arduous beginning setups. So when you're in OBS, you can't tell how many people are in your thing, right? Is there a way to, like, I guess I have to open up YouTube somewhere to see how many people are there at any one time. I'm so glad we got that issue fixed. At least something gets a little better every week, right? The video's better and the audio's better now than it was in the beginning. So that's a positive. I just had to run back from Costco. I was worried about making it. But Abby needed some stuff and I had to run out there really quick, but I made it really fast. Even with all the Costco crazy, how bonkers that place is. Is Costco bonkers by you? Do you have Costco? And is it crazy? There should be a chat window in YouTube. Yeah, see, there's just this chat thing that comes up inside of OBS. Let me see if I can pull up YouTube at the same time. YouTube, don't let me down. Where would I go? Would I go to my YouTube studio? Is that gonna do it? Man, did you see my Georgie video? It's so funny that you do these videos and you put all this effort in to making them really good and having the sound be great and, you know, making sure the content is all top notch and you get like 30 some users. And then I did a video last night of just, so Georgie, I realized this thing lately that if I make the sound of him licking himself like as if it's him licking himself, it freaks him out when he's cleaning himself. And every time I do it, he goes, and he looks at me like, what are you doing, dude? So I did it on the video yesterday for about 40 seconds. And it was just, you know, it's funny as heck because it's Georgie doing his Georgie thing. And it doesn't matter how many times he starts licking himself. As soon as I start doing it, he'll look at me like, are you kidding me, dude? What are you thinking about? And that did, like, just overnight, 1,500 views and 70 likes and got like 4 users, 4 new subs. And so I apparently run a half meditation, half cat video channel. Every time I hear that name, Georgie, it makes me think of the kid from the movie It that got eaten from the storm drain. I don't remember. I know the movie. I can't remember the specifics of it. I don't know if I've seen it or not. I think I just know about it. But that's funny. Georgie. I always think of Peppa Pig. Remember Peppa Pig? Georgie. That little girl used to say Georgie all the time. Georgie. It was her little brother, right? I think. I don't know. My kids are getting old. It's been a while since we've watched the Peppa Pig. But I love me some Peppa Pig. I thought she was cool. All right, Tino, I guess it's just me and you. Think I should just go anyway, or should I just wait until, I'll wait till quarter after. If no one's here by quarter after, I'm going to go anyway, just so everybody can just watch it later. And, yeah, Peppa was awesome. Peppa Pig was the best. I don't know if I've seen chat playback yet on our videos. Have you noticed that yet? Have you looked at any of them after they've been up? I swear I keep putting that thing on for it to do it, and then I never see the chats. Not that we've got a ton of chatting going on or anything, but it'd be nice to hear what I'm responding to, right? Or to be able to read what I'm responding to rather than just having me reiterate. We watched Howl's Moving Castle today with the kids a little bit. That was a good one. I really love that movie. Katie really loves that one too. Yeah, I swore I turned that thing on, dang it. Well, that'll be the next thing I'll try to nail down. Next week I'll try to get the super chat going. And we'll see what happens. Yeah, Howl's Moving Castle is great. I have the book on my iPad. I want to read that. I haven't gotten to it yet because I gotta stop kidding myself. I just don't get to nonfiction. I read so much, or fiction. I read so much fiction as a kid, and then I just started reading, nonfiction, and I have never. It's hard for me to get into stories now for some reason. I don't know why that is. Because there's so many things I want to learn, right? So I wind up doing that whenever I do read. But once in a while, like I have Dracula. I've always wanted to get through Dracula. I'm probably about a quarter way through it. It's still sitting on the side of my bed, and every once in a while I'll read a chapter. And I'll be like, yeah, that's enough of that. Now I need to go read math or whatever it is that I'm working on, Japanese. But it's okay. I don't mind. All right, we'll wait 2 more minutes. Otherwise, it's just me and you, sister. Me and you and the internet talking about cartoons. And I'm okay with that. I could talk about cartoons the whole time. We watched Totoro yesterday. And then we also watched Monsters vs. Aliens. We've just been having a throwback weekend over here. We love Monsters vs. Aliens. It's where between me and Abby we can quote that whole entire movie. Yeah, Totoro's the best. That's a good one too. And of that guy's stuff, I also really love Spirited Away. That's probably my favorite. It's a toss-up between that and Howl's. But I think I like Spirited Away a little bit better because I saw that first. I actually saw it in a movie theater with Abby before the kids were born, believe it or not. And it was just so good. I had never seen anything like that before. I didn't know about that director. I can never remember his name, Mikao, or it's a Japanese name that's hard for me to recall. Yeah, Monsters vs. Aliens, it's good. It looks dated. The CGI is dated at this point, but it's just such a good movie. It's amusing. It just has a lot of little funny things. There's all the voice actors are famous people you'd know, and they all do a really good job. It's worth checking out. I would definitely watch that one. That's one of my favorite cartoons. Alright, it's 1:15. I guess it's time we roll this thing. Everyone's been sitting around listening to us. Hopefully people are fast forwarding through our cartoon talk, right? Maybe we should just start a channel about cartoons. I think that will be fun. Yeah, I don't know. I don't want to wait. I think we should go, right? Alright, this is right where I'll cut it. So, the last few weeks, we've been... Have you seen Ponyo? Oh, heck yeah, Ponyo. Are you kidding me? Love me some Ponyo. Ponyo's another one of my favorite ones from that guy. Not to head back to cartoon talk when we're supposed to be talking meditation. Like I said, I could talk cartoons all day. Yeah, Ponyo's an excellent one. I love that one. It's such a... Just when he goes into his trippy, atmospheric, super colored craziness, my God, it's so cool. I could just watch that stuff all day long. And apparently he keeps trying to quit, but he can't find anybody to replace himself. So he just keeps doing it. He wants to retire, is what I've heard a few times recently. But man, I don't think I've seen... He has a couple new ones. I don't think I've seen them yet. All right. Well, I'm going to roll for both you and your dog, Tina. I know he's excited about this. So we're on chapter 5 of Dharana Darshan. And here's my prefix of this today. We're going chapter by chapter, But before too long here, we're going to hit chapter 9. And in chapter 9 is where the rubber hits the road. And that's when we start yogic and tantric dharana. That's when there's actually some that's when there's actually some stuff to do from this book, and it comes out of theory. Now the thing is, there's some method to the madness that I've been imposing on you guys week after week. If you notice, I'm trying to build up a little at a time, like 2 minutes a week or something around there. But I'm trying to get us up to sitting still for half an hour, which to most people that seems like an impossibility. But you know, in my experience, I used to feel the same way, but it's very much possible to sit extremely still for half an hour. I first saw a teacher named Silver Ra, a really serious yogi and shaman. He's out in the Denton area of Texas. And at his class, you basically sit down for half an hour and you're not allowed to move. It's an open eye meditation, and you're not allowed to move at all. And when I first got there, I was scared crapless. I was like, oh my God, I'm not going to be able to do this. But it's amazing how when you have to do it, then you do it. And then I got used to it. And now sitting absolutely still for half an hour is not a big deal. So I can tell you from someone who was scared of it, you can get there. And the thing is, it's just something that you're going to need to be able to do to hit these deeper states, to be able to accomplish the goal. And at this point, that's just to achieve dharana, that single-pointed focus. And that's not even the ultimate goal. That's just this particular goal we're heading after right now. You know, it might seem like a long, arduous path at this point, but the thing is this is real meditation. Most of what you hear out there, as we've talked about in one of the other chapters, most of what the world calls meditation is not meditation. There's a lot of guided visualizations out there, and they're cool. They're good for you, you know. They're good to help you relax. They're good to help you to disengage from our hectic life, but it's not meditation. That's not what it is. It's a different thing. You know, it's a little bit like watching a really calm movie, right? That you kind of create the visuals for is really what it is. So that's not in any way meditation. So that's what we're building up to, towards a real meditation. Like, this is the boot camp for the real deal. So hang in there. If this seems hard and it seems like a challenge, it's worth it, because this is the real thing. So with that, we're on chapter 5, right? I'm going to still go week by week. We got 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, right? So we've got a few weeks before it's expected that we can sit for half an hour. Not that you absolutely have to do it, but if you're looking to follow along with the program and make it work for you, that's really what you're trying to do at this point, okay? And I highly suggest that you do. You know, one time in your life, take the time to see if meditation is for you. And if it is, it could change your life. And if it's not, well, then move on to the next thing. That's cool, as long as you give it a shot, right? But don't get scared off because it's a challenge. Because anything good in life that's worth doing is a challenge, right? And with that, I'm going to move on with chapter 5 from the good Swami Niranjananda. Visualization. Oh, shoot, you know what I need? My glasses. I'm not going to see that without them. Sorry, I'm so unprepared today. But it's really relaxed me. There's only two of us there anyway. And I apologize to your dog, Tina. I know I'm slacking today. Here we go. Chapter 5, Visualization. Hello, Weather Dragon. Welcome. Here we go. Chapter 5, Visualization. According to yoga, freedom from mental bondage is attained through practice of a mantra or psychic sound. The effect of the mantra is to free the mind from bondage caused by our attraction to the senses. Mantras are sound vibration which affect the physical, emotional, mental, and psychic structure. Every sound vibration creates a particular pattern, image, or form. I don't know if you've ever seen that thing that they do now, but they'll throw a bunch of sand on a hard structure like a table and then put something against it that vibrates at a certain frequency. And you can see all the different images that these different frequencies and things make. So that's, you know, this isn't just conjecture, right? This is like a real thing. In the initial stage, that sound vibration is known as nada, or the pratham spandan, the first remedial vibration. This remedial vibration is the source from which all life forms emanate. In the Bible, it is said that in the beginning was the Word. This is actually the pratham spandan, or the nada, which is the basis of mantra. In this context, mantra becomes a tool for the development of the states of pratyahara and dharana. Now you remember, pratyahara is learning to completely disengage from the sense telephones, right, as they say. It's just disengaging from the senses completely. And dharana is single-pointed focus, I'm sure you remember by now. It provides a base or support on which the mind can rest so that it does not become unconscious. As the mental tensions and distractions diminish, the awareness and concentration improve. Another aspect of mantra is yantra, or psychic symbol. Every mantra is comprised of one or more sound vibrations, and each vibration creates a particular image. Science has also shown that when you play a note on a musical instrument, that note creates a particular form. In the same way, the image which a mantra creates in the field of consciousness is known as yantra. Just as the word mantra, mananatrayate, or mantratrayate, means liberation from the thought processes of the mind, so yantra, yamiteanena, means a technique by which the mind is controlled. When the thought processes are controlled by mantra or yantra, the consciousness presents itself in its pure true nature. Unless consciousness is experienced in true nature, the mind remains in a state of relative inertia or inactivity and cannot understand the reality. The evolution of consciousness in its totality is experienced by the sadhaka. You're the sadhaka, right? The person who's practicing. Is experienced by the sadhaka only when the clouds of the thought processes are controlled by both mantra and yantra. So basically, mantra, auditory, yantra is visual, if that visual is internal, right? That's mantra, sound, yantra, sight, right? Things that you can see. Image. Therefore, we have the images of yantras or symbols, which can be very simple and also very complicated depending on the state of our evolution. An individual's mantra can create the sound spontaneously. At the time of mantra repetition, image comes to mind, whether it is a circle, a star, a square, a triangle, or any other image. Often one does not understand why it is happening, why this beautiful green, blue, pink light has come into one's meditation. That is the symbol which is being created by the repetition of the mantra in the field of consciousness. Now, I've worked with different mantras for years. The first mantra that I used, I think I worked with it for about 5 years before I tried anything different. I've never experienced seeing any different shapes from that, but I have experienced seeing colors depending on the mantra that I'm using. Conceptualization of the mind. What do we do with the symbol that has manifested within the field of consciousness? That is the point of concentration. Generally, we sit down for meditation and try to blank out. We try to totally avoid and escape from every kind of sensory and mental identity, idea, and experience. Due to the undisciplined nature of the mind, however, we find that there is a struggle with the thoughts. The mind cannot be quiet, and we are trying to force it to be quiet. So instead of meditation, we go through a process of mental stress. Instead of experiencing mental peace and tranquility, there is a constant struggle to bring the mind back to the practice, to stop the thoughts from coming, to let go of the worldly worries and anxieties. Therefore, in order to keep the mind focused at one point, we have to use a symbol. At the time of mental dissipation and distraction, we have to bring ourselves back to that point again and again. It becomes a visual point to focus our attention upon. It is very difficult to focus the attention on a non-visual point, so mantra and yantra, sound and symbol, are necessary tools for meditation. They have the capacity to penetrate far into the depths of the subconscious and unconscious mind in order to manifest or express the hidden potential. They are a scientific process of conceptualizing these unknown areas of the mind. Concentration on these sounds and images influences the brainwaves. If we can reorganize, reset, restructure the brainwave patterns, we can manifest a new quality of consciousness. Samyama, perfection of concentration. We are surrounded by an ocean of vibrations which are vibrating in different dimensions simultaneously. When we repeat the mantra, we begin the process of pratyahara, disconnecting from our senses. This requires a gradual withdrawal of the sensory perceptions, and then we are able to focus the mind at one point. After the process of withdrawal is complete and the mental focus is total, there is no distraction or dissipation of any type. That state is known as dharana, the capacity of the mind to hold a concept. For example, we concentrate on a flower and we're able to hold the flower in our mind for a particular period of time. However, we're not able to forget ourselves. We are still aware of time and space. That is called dharana, or concentration. Dhyana means total, unfluctuating awareness of the mind in that concept. When you are able to hold the concept of the flower in your mind and you are no longer aware of yourself or of the meditative process, then that is called dhyana, or meditation. When you're able to hold the concept of the flower in your mind and the flower within you becomes a living experience, so that there is no difference between an external flower and the internal flower. When both flowers look alike, that is called samadhi. All these three stages, dharana, dhyana, and samadhi, practiced together are known as samyama. When you are able to practice these three together, your mind becomes creative, constructive, and competent. It is able to hold any idea within itself with greater force, and there is no barrier or limitation to its capacities. That right there is what this is all about. When you have accomplished samyama, you can concentrate on any object. When the mind has achieved perfection and concentration, then it attains siddhis, psychic abilities. That's not what this is about. Psychic abilities will come, but I'll give you the same warning that I've always been given from all of my teachers. Don't get carried away with that stuff. The first time something really weird happens to you that you know you did, just don't get carried away. That's the key. Don't get carried away. It's just a step in the process. It is not a goal, and it is not something to be, invested too heavily, because it can sidetrack you from the goal that we do have, right? Very much so. Happen. Living experience. Whatever you can see outside, you can see inside as well. In order to see outside, you need the sensory channels. However, to see inside, you do not need any sensory medium. That capacity has to be attained. Therefore, do not worry about the quality or the virtue of the practice. Just be sure that the practice is so powerful that you can actually see that object inside clearly, as though it were real. If you find that your practice cannot give you a living experience, then it is necessary for you to review it. There should be no difference between the external and the internal experience. Both appear to be alike. But when you are able to have the inner experience without depending on your senses, then your mind becomes very powerful. You can influence your destiny and your career. You can change the circumstances of your life. There is nothing that you cannot achieve. That is the ultimate point in mental development which everyone has to reach. That state of mind, that quality of experience, is known as supermind, and that supermind is a product of concentration. It is a mind which can create a living experience from anything it thinks about. Guidelines for visualization. In the preliminary stage of dharana, the symbol can be an external object. However, as your perception becomes more subtle, you should visualize your symbol internally and create an image of Chittakasha, the space in front of the closed eyes. This image is more subtle and will take you much deeper. Many people have trouble maintaining a clear image of the symbol. Either they cannot visualize it, or the image tends to fade away. Do not become frustrated if this is the case with you. It is merely an indication of the state of your own mind. It is difficult to visualize inner images with a disturbed mind. You will be able to think about the image or imagine it, but you will not be able to see it internally with total clarity, as you would see it externally. As your mind becomes calm and steady, however, you will find it progressively easier to visualize your symbol. When the mind becomes absolutely still and one-pointed, then you will be able to maintain a fixed inner vision of your psychic symbol. It requires regular practice to reach this stage. However, you should not expect to achieve it in one session. When the mind becomes quiet, you should start to use a psychic symbol. You must formulate a pattern of consciousness which acts as a base on which you can fix your awareness. When an astronaut explores space, he always relates his position to Earth or the Sun. It is the same with the exploration of inner space. You must relate your awareness to a symbol. Your awareness, which normally drifts from one thought to another, must be centered around one form. All the mental forces must be molded around the symbol. When you can maintain unfluctuating awareness of that one symbol for a few minutes without displacement by other thoughts, then the inner vision will develop. If you wish to practice visualization, keep the following points in mind. Your symbol can be external or internal. However, as your perception becomes more refined, you should utilize a subtle inner psychic symbol. Your symbol should be such that your mind automatically identifies with it, i.e., your symbol should attract and hold your attention without too much effort. Do not change your symbol. If you change it, then the mind will have to adapt to and mold itself around a new symbol. That takes time and effort. Try to develop the ability to clearly visualize a sharp image of the symbol in front of the closed eyes. With practice, it should arrive spontaneously. If you do not have a specific symbol, practice meditation techniques such as those given in the book. When you are ready, the symbol will come to you. So that's a whole lot to unpack right there. Does anybody have any questions specifically? Hey, Mama. Audio choppy. Audio choppy. Anybody else? Tina, is it audio choppy for you? Or is it okay? There's not really anything I can do about that. And if it is, I really have no. It's just going from my iPhone to OBS and from OBS out the door. Beyond that, I don't really have any idea what I would change. I'd have to look into it. Is it still choppy? Still is. How about you? Is it choppy over there? I know your dog running over there. Can you get over? Is there any? Let us know when you can. If there's anybody else out there, let us know. Yes. Yes, still choppy for you. I really don't know. No. I saw 300 milliseconds on this interface and thought maybe I would do something. It tells you how many frames you're dropping, right? Drop frames. It says 0. So if it hasn't dropped any, that doesn't seem like a problem between me and sound good past stream. The only thing I did was I made it stand out less. I shut off the sound from the laptop. It was also getting mixed. Now it's just purely coming from the iPhone. So it's not different over here. And when he's saying drop frames, I have to think somewhere else on the internet. Maybe your router's down or something weird. Well, I guess we'll have to see. We'll find out when we look at the recording when this is done and see if it's how good or bad it is. Well, hang in there, do the best you can, and we'll see where we're at after this. And Mike, if you can't hear me, try to go back to the beginning of this video and watch that stuff, because there's definitely some stuff in there that's helpful at this point. Is it enough to get through it? Will you get through it? Or is it absolutely impossible to hear me? Good thing there's not a lot of people here today. I think we got two whole peoples. Hang in there? Okay. Good deal. We'll do what you can. This won't be real long today. So just sit in your position. Keep your spine straight as you can. Now, do you remember that exercise we did as we were going through the chakras, where we were working through the psychic digestive system? Remember that? In, through, and out. There's a secondary exercise that goes with that, and I just wanted to share that with you real quick today. It's called a double breath. You can either do this thing if while you're meditating you start to feel tension build or you feel some anxiety. You can do this right in the middle of your meditation and it will loosen that up. You can also use this anytime throughout the day that you're feeling panicky or have anxiety or just feel like you need to loosen up your energy a little bit. It's really great for that. I've heard different yogis say that just doing this particular exercise, if you do it 9 times a day, you can rid yourself of anxiety completely. I can't speak to the validity of that. There were times where I was doing it 9 times a day and I did not have anxiety at that time. But that doesn't mean that it's going to eradicate any degree of that, right? So anyway, let's just try to roll it a little bit. You're going to take in a deep breath, and you're going to follow that same path that we did before, into the forehead, take the dip down in the middle of your head, down through the throat, into the heart, and then you're going to stop at the heart, right? You're going to breathe in. We're full, we're going to sit here. We're going to hold this here in the chest for at least 10 seconds. If you can go up to 30 or more, that's even better. Don't worry about doing that right in the beginning, right? Just work with 10 seconds. So take that deep breath in. The energy coming in through here, take the dip, turn down inside the head, and go down through the throat into the heart. Count that quick. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Now, what we're going to do at this point is we're going to exhale out somewhere between a third and a fifth of the air within you, right? And quickly pull it again, and now drop down to your belly chakra. Okay? So we're in the heart. We've counted however long we can go, 10 seconds up to 30. Keep going more than that. So you can do more than that. That's good and fine. Right? We're going to exhale between a fifth and a third of the air, and then fill up again and drop the awareness from the heart to the belly chakra. We're going to stay there for a few seconds. Try to keep it somewhere around the same as what you did the heart, right? So try about 10 seconds on both at this point. After about 10 seconds, then you're going to exhale from the belly, and you're going to follow that whole trail out that we do with that other exercise. So you're going to exhale out from the belly, go down to the sacral chakra, spin around the back, and energy out the back. You exhale, right? The only other thing we're going to do, other than that, is when we breathe in, into the forehead, take a turn down in the middle of the head, downwards at the thigh, goes through the throat, into the heart. Continue to breathe. When we hold it, I want you to expand your heart center, right? Now, that is simple, few words that can mean a whole lot of different things, right? But just try to feel your heart center expanding, your psychic awareness, to try to feel the center growing outwards in every direction. That's the best way I can put it. And the only other thing I can say is just keep trying it until you start to feel it. You know, if you feel like you're doing it, you're probably doing it. You'll get more sensitive to what's happening as time goes on. All these practices, all these exercises, the more you do them, the more of a pronounced effect they have to you and your experience of them. So we're breathing in, down at the third eye, into the throat, into the heart. Hold and expand for 10 seconds at least. And exhale a third to fifth air. And then take it right back in again so you're filled up again, right? And then start expanding from the belly chakra in the same way outwards. Now, I've heard this expansion come from the belly chakra, and I've heard this come from the chakra below it as well, right? I've always kind of tried to take that whole area and just expand it, right? Including both of those chakras, and just kind of take them and push outwards. And it really is just a way to begin to release that pressure and that tightness that we hold in those chakras down there, right? Especially with life the way it is right now. Right? Life is so hectic and everyone's and holding on. And that's two of the places we hold down, right? Is the belly chakra and the chakra below it. So just like when you're holding, just visualize them expanding and just feel them expand. That's the important part, is to really feel into it. And and you'll feel that area start to loosen up and do a different thing. And then after you've counted to 10, done your thing, then exhale, and then down around the bottom, back up the spine, and out the top of the head again, right? That's the whole double breath. That whole process right there is one double breath. Do one whenever you're feeling a little tense in your meditation or every once in a while, and then just let it be for a while and let it sit, right? If you start feeling tense again from anything, then throw another one in there. Throughout the day, try one of these. See if it doesn't relax you. Experiment, right? See how it works for you. But just try it. The more you do it, the more you'll feel what it's doing. And I feel it has been one of the more beneficial practices that I've learned throughout the years. I find it very useful. And, sometimes I forget about it and I come back to it again and I'm like, why did I forget about this? So that's a really good one. But that's not the kind of thing you just sit there doing and doing and doing. That's really when you're feeling that you need it, you use it. Okay? Good deal. The one other thing I wanted to get through was about the visualization. Like, a lot of people have a problem with this, and I was one of those people. I just don't feel like I have the clearest visualizations that ever were, right? Especially you go to different retreats and you listen to people talk. And some people are like, the simplest thing happens. They're like, oh, I saw a dove and this light came down and the dove turned into 16 doves and they all flew away in these arcs and there was all these colors in the sky. And you're like, what? Where did it all come from? Some of us have that, some of us don't. I don't have that as much. But here's this little practice right here, right? Think of a doorknob. Now, when I said doorknob and I said think of it, in your mind, there was a picture of a doorknob. Whatever doorknob that was, whether it was one you made up in your head, modeled off the one that you've seen recently, or modeled off the one that you've seen from a kid, there is definitely an image. I've never heard anybody say, no, I did not see an image of a doorknob. And that's because your resistance was down at that particular moment, because you had no idea it was going to tell you to visualize something. There's nothing to get worried about yet, right? And just instantly you see a doorknob because that's your internal faculties at work. So anytime, if you ever think that you can't do this, just remember the doorknob experience. Like, you can do that. Just loosen up and let it happen. And that really is the key. And another thing to remember is that, when you're dreaming, these are the same inner faculties. So I'm sure you've seen all kinds of crazy stuff in dreams. And you have that same ability to make that arise within you and see that in your inner vision. So try to remember those two things and just go at it without putting any pressure on yourself if you're trying to visualize any of this stuff. And also it talked about picking a symbol. In the first chapter, either the first or second chapter of Dharana Darshan, it had this multiple hundreds of things that you could pick as a symbol. There's pretty much anything you could think of in life that has any kind of spiritual context, and even outside of like religion stuff. It was, there was all kinds of things. I skipped over a lot of it. But if you need help picking something, I can help you and show you that list. Or, it may just come to you if you do start meditating like this, and you are thinking that you need some kind of symbol, and you do need something to kind of grab onto internally. It's helpful to have one thing. A lot of people just think like if they're Christian, they pick Jesus. Maybe Jesus on the cross, maybe their favorite saint, or something like that. Or if that has nothing to do with you, it could be, your favorites, like where's your favorite place you've ever been in life? Was it by a beach or in the mountains, and what is that scenery that makes you go, you can use that as a visualization as well. It's not limited at all. So if you have any kind of questions, just feel free to get with me. And I'll be glad to answer any kind of questions. Or if you just want to consult chapter 1, I believe it is. Either chapter 1 or 2 from Dharana Darshan has that information in it. You want to consult that, it's all there as well too. There's like a massive list of things. When I did my reading, I just kind of skipped over it. I just read like the first heading of all those chapters. So there was a lot more information there than what I gave you. So I hope that clears up any visualization stuff that you might have going on. And with that, let's just do a little bit of meditation today. There's not many people here, so we won't get too crazy with this. This is mostly about the information that I wanted to be able to convey. Just try to get yourself in a balanced position, right? Always be looking for that center of balance, right? That's really important. That's really important because it really will determine whether your back starts to hurt really soon or not while you're sitting for any length of time. Start to breathe so long and deep. Let's just do that body scan real quick. Let's go feet up today. We've been doing that Manduka honey one. Let's hit it the other way. Just tighten your feet if you have to. Squeeze them and then release. Right. Just release your feet as best you can. Lower legs, if you've got to squeeze those muscles and then release them. Do the same thing. And just keep following this whole program up the whole body, right? Upper legs and thighs, just squeeze real tight and release. I find that's a really effective way to get this done. Your glutes, buttocks, all that stuff, give a good squeeze and release. Your lower belly area, squeeze, release, lower back. Your upper abdominals, middle back. Just let go, let go. We don't need that tension. It ain't doing anybody any good. Squeeze those chest muscles, upper back. Tighten it all up real good. Include your shoulders in that. Give a serious flex and just release all that. Biceps, squeeze them, release. Forearms, squeeze them, release. Those hands, squeeze them real good and give them a break. They're probably overworked as it is, right? And then just lay those hands on your knees or hold them on top of each other right in front of you. The neck. Your jaw, cheeks, back of the head. Now you just gotta start letting go. Your whole head, your eyes, just release all these things. Eyebrows and that furrow right here. People are always carrying a bunch of tension right here. Sometimes you can even touch it. Dude, let's go cut this out, right? We're like this very often. Just let that go. Even if it takes doing one of these numbers, right? Same thing as flexing. Top of the head, same thing, just release, let go. There you go, there's a whole body scan. I'll just spend 10 seconds just letting go of the whole body all at the same time. Just release it all in one shot. With each breath, just release a little deeper. Take our focus to the lowest chakra, Muladhara, down there to the perineum. Hold your focus there. And breathe slow and deep. This your chakra has to do with your connection to the earth and earthly things. Flow of money, right? The flow of other resources in your life. Loosen that sucker up. When you're doing this alone, do it until you feel a change in that area. When you feel a change, you've most likely shifted and opened a little bit. Not that it's mandatory. Definitely not. If you've been sitting there for 20 minutes, just hang there waiting for something to move on. Follow the spine up, head 6 inches up. Or in the general chakra, right? This one is a little harder to get a sensation, but do the best you can. Feel the belly one really good, and you can feel the root one pretty good. It's safe to find this one in the middle of those two. Try to be super still. Breathe in and out of that chakra. 7-minute meditation is almost done. When soon. That'll help you with all this a little bit. On the exhale, slide up the belly chakra. On the spine though, right? Behind the belly button, in the spine. That whole area. In front and behind the spine. Trying to become aware of the whole entire area there. Just keep breathing slow and deep into the chakra. Wonder what happened. We'll figure it out. If we can be enough to get this done. And then next exhale, let's just travel up the spine to the heart area. Anahata chakra. Construct down. It should be feeling nice and open. If you try those double breaths, that area should be feeling a little more loose and wide than usual. I know mine does. Don't be afraid to expand that thing when you're doing those double breaths to the size of the room, the size of the planet. Go as far as you can. Expand that chakra. On the next exhale, take it up to the throat chakra. Follow the spine up to the base of the neck, Vishuddha. The chakra is speaking your truth. Open that energy up and speak your truth. When you're doing this chakra mala meditation right here, and you're on your own, try to just do at least 3 breaths in each chakra. If you do that, you're doing good. If you do more, awesome. But 3 breaths is really the minimum you want to do, and you'll get through this really quick. That's what the 7-minute meditation is all about. It's just getting used to all these chakras and getting used to sitting still. And that's a big deal in itself. It's a part of the process. It's the part of this marathon. And you have to get it down. It's the structural part of the whole thing. Without a good structure, without a good foundation, nothing's worth building, right? I know the Weather Dragon is definitely all about that. On the next exhale, I want you to head up from your throat chakra and head up to the third eye. Travel through the head, into the center of the head, right where a little bit above your eyebrows and the top of your head, where those points meet in the center, about 3 inches in from your forehead. That's where that third eye is. You want to just hang out there for a few long, deep breaths. Do this every day and you'll start to see a little bit of light in there. You may see some light already. Everybody's experience is different. It took me a little while. Just understand it's just a signpost. It's not a goal. As long as you're doing practice, that's the important part. Moving forward, learn to internalize yourself. In a world where it's becoming rampantly unfashionable to internalize yourself, it's dying art. And the more you learn to do it, the more enjoyable the external becomes. The more you're able to deal with what hits you in the external, because the external isn't your whole world anymore. Next exhale, we're going to head to the top of the head. Right in the center of the head, Chakra, 1,000-petal lotus. It's your connection to divinity, formless God, whatever term you want to give it. And that's it for today. I'm going to call it right there and say good job to everybody that showed up. Thank you for coming. Here's your official bell that we're done. I don't want to keep going with the sound being choppy. I'm going to try to get that figured out beforehand. But that's it. Just think about those things. Try to find yourself a symbol if you can, something that you want to work with. And try to get used to sitting still every day a little bit more. If you do that chakra mala, that's a great way to get started, and then stay in just complete stillness and silence with the focus at the top of the head. Remember, we've got about 4 weeks out. Would be highly beneficial if you could sit for half an hour still. And it might seem like a big deal, but it's a big deal that will help your life. So give it a shot, see if you can't make it there, and then we'll go to the next step. Okay? All right, everybody. Thank you for showing up. I appreciate your time. And I will see you next week. Same time, same bat channel. Love you guys bunches. Sarve Bhavantu Sukhinaha. May all be happy. Anybody have anything to ask before we shut it down for the day? I'll go see if anybody else in my house is running anything hectic. And if they are, I'll ask them to not do it next week. And I'll also see if I can't ratchet down the bandwidth that it's using. Maybe it's just trying to do too much. The thing that really weirds me out, though, is why it's not telling me it dropped any frames. It's saying 0. So if it's having problems getting stuff out, it should be dropping frames. That's the part that's weird. Is it still sound the same? Does it still sound bad? Or is it getting any better? Or is it changing? I guess that really is the question, right? Is this a question of bandwidth coming and going? Or does it seem like an actual problem? This when we watch the video back, that'll answer some of our questions, right? Yeah, hopefully it's not our connection, because we have a terabit here, which usually video good, but the audio's still funky. We usually wind up between 6 and it's okay now. Okay, good. Yeah, I'll bet you it's something. Dash is probably playing games, something hectic. I'll try to get everybody to chill out next week, and I'll also look into what I can do to make sure that it's okay. Not choppy at the moment. Okay. All right, I'll look into it. All right, you guys, thanks for coming. Have a good week, and I'll see you next Sunday. Love you guys. Be safe out there.